What's up, guys? Welcome back to Shoney Small Engines. Had this trade in here on this Toro, and I had to do a bunch of things. You might have seen some other videos. I redid the head and everything. But the engine came, the carb came as an aftermarket carb here, and just so happened the guy that I got it off of had the original. He said, you know, obviously this didn't work, so that's what they tried the aftermarket carb. It was a different problem. It was a bent valve problem. But anyway, I want to show you what happens when the difference between an OEM carb and an aftermarket carb here, and a couple things you can, you know, if you get one if you buy one secondhand or something, and you see, you know, if yours isn't running correctly, maybe this is something to look for. But let me show you what happens. Basically, this is a brand new carb, brand new aftermarket carb. I'm going to show you what it sounds like when it runs. All right, so you can see there a lot of surging. A lot of these aftermarket carbs, you know, they come for various engines. This so happens to be 190cc, but they'll list it to work for, you know, the 160, the 6.5, the 6.75. So on this case, it's probably going to be a little bit too lean. I'm not saying these things are junk or anything, because, you know, worst case scenario, you got to replace them. But what you can see here is I have one here, and I have the OEM one here. I'm going to show you a couple little differences here. So a few things you can tell right off the bat. The bowls are different. One's shiny, one's not. Here on the OEM one, there's a Briggs and Stratton symbol. You're not going to get that on the aftermarket one. This is a copper inlet piece. This one's not, or brass, I think. And I mean, everything else looks the same. Now, what you're going to notice here, no markings on this jet, and we got a 076 on this jet, so we know that's an OEM. The other thing is, to tell the difference, the OEM is going to be a 1/2 inch. It's going to be a 1/2 inch bolt to get off, and the aftermarket, it won't fit. You have to go with a 12 millimeter. All right, so that's another way to figure it out. So I'm going to put this OEM carb back on, and let's take we'll start it up and see if we can hear a difference in the way it runs. Hopefully it smooths out that idle and stops that surging. Surging usually means it's running a little bit lean. Usually means the jet coming in here might not be big enough. Now, if you have to and you're fiddling around, you have a bigger engine like this 190, you know, something you could try, you know, getting like a torch tip cleaner set and trying to file out the jet in there to make it slightly bigger, but you're basically gambling with how close you can get it. All right, let me get this carb on real quick, and we'll try to start it and see what happens. All right, first you have this 5/16 bolt just to get the airbox out of the way, and 3 more 5/16 here. I'm going to take the cover off. You don't have to, but I'm going to just give it a little bit better view. All right, and we got to remove the auto choke. I'm going to clamp the fuel line so we don't get fuel running out. Fuel hose clamp out of the way. Catch some of the draining fuel out of here. All right, now we got 2 3/8 bolts in the back here. And we'll pull this carb forward, and we got to take the governor linkage off. Pull down, turn out. You can break that if you're not careful. So again, here's this aftermarket carb. Again, no markings on it. Shiny bowl. So let's get the original on and see if it starts. I did check over this carb. You know, the guy said he cleaned it before they tried to fix it. But I just want to confirm that the carb is nice and clean. As you can see, okay, gasket's in good shape. All right, so again, let's just reverse this. We're going to put the governor linkage on first. Make sure this O-ring is in place and in good shape. Start these 3/8 bolts by hand. I'm going to tighten these guys down just to make sure that they're not coming loose. Just use common sense when tightening these guys. You can strip that out. Now we got to reattach the 1/4 inch bolt for the auto choke. Make sure that that's free and moving. Reconnect the fuel line. And then we'll move the hose clamp over and lock that down. The airbox on it. We're going to put the airbox back on. Make sure that this gasket is here. We have the 2 bolts that hold it on. I'm just going to put the cover back on. Air filter and air cover next. Now let's start this up and see if it sounds any better. All right, a lot better. So I am a big fan of the OEM stuff. A lot of times I'll get machines in with people try to replace the carburetors. First thing I ask is, do you have the original? Again, I've seen carburetors so bad that, whoops, that you have to replace them. I try to get the best quality one I can find on there. I'll give you my opinion if you want it. But anyway, sometimes you can fiddle with these things, make them better, but you can't go wrong with the OEMs. The jets are made particular to the machines. So I've also seen people take these and if the carb is so bad, clean the jets on the originals and just replace the jet, and sometimes it's okay. So let me know your opinion on these guys. Let me know how if you had any trouble or if you had luck with these carburetors, and hit me up in the comments. Check out some of my other material here. You can check out my channel there, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.